another league with this black red aggro deck. I really like it, and I think we're learning to sideboard a little bit better with it. The only difference in this build and the last build we played is we added the 4th FR Spear Harvester back to the deck because we really missed it. And we cut a Murder Bolt for another Doomfall. I'm not sure I actually want the Doomfalls either. They're a little bit better versus blue-black control because they can hit a Naked Scarab God or they can pull relevant things out of hand. And the Murder Boats in general just were not very good. And a lot of the matches that I wanted to bring the Murder Boats in, I was already trimming on some artifacts. But yeah, we're going to jump into a match and we're going to attempt to go. Hopefully, we'll get a 5-0 today. There is a local event tomorrow. Doesn't have a particularly great prize, but that's why we've been testing these a little bit stronger decks over the past 3 days. We 5-0 with this today. We may go to it tomorrow, but I think I'm actually banned from that store. Though I have no idea how. The owner's just kind of weird. Anyway, we'll keep this. Hand's a little on the weak side, but we have a couple of relevant threats and a fatal push. Well, I assume whatever we're playing here is very likely dying, as he did not have a 2-drop. So we're just going to play the more resilient threat first. We couldn't get a card off of the glint anyway. Alright, so we saved the better card. This match is one of the hardest matches, especially pre-board. We'll go ahead and lead with the Harvester here. And hopefully we're going to untap and draw, or hopefully we're going to draw an untapped land. If we draw an untapped land, we're going to be at party o'clock. If we don't draw an untapped land, we're going to be in not the bestest of shape. This looks like it's party o'clock. Willing to take a hit from that thing? The crew here probably won't gain the life this turn because I'm expecting an Abrade or another Harness Lightning. But we may. In fact, in the end, we probably will. I think spending 1 energy to make him use a spell seems worth it. And a lot of the builds have been shaving on Abrades. For example, the Steph's Manfield build did not have Abrades. So yeah, we're definitely behind right now, especially if he has another relevant threat. And Bristling Hydra has to be the best he could have. So we're currently now in what I refer to as not good shape, friends. Not good shape at all. We have a reasonable blockers though. We're going to try to get out of this turn. Possibly throw one of our glints away to play double fatal push or something. I assume if he's making that attack that he has yet another Harness Lightning and or a Braid, and we're just not going to beat something like that. Hey Dumbo, what's the hippity hat, man? Yeah, obviously. Could not run average for once. Well, we'll kill this thing. He can make this thing a 6. guess we're willing to take it. I don't think I'm going to draw a card here because it lets Glorybringer kill us in one attack. I think we could have won this game on the play. Did I forget to buy this back one turn? Probably not. This was the third Rogue Refiner. Man, our opponent's draw is killer. It's a little old running this bad. We certainly didn't get draws like that yesterday with the exact same deck. This is the only time we can buy this thing back. Sure. I'm willing to concede to Glorybringer now. Really need to find another Harvester before he finds a Glorybringer or a Whirler Virtuoso. Another land is not a Harvester. Well, that's bad news for us. So we have basically one draw and it may not even be good enough. Sure, we'll look for another card. Well, we drew 9 lands to our opponent's 6, even though our opponent drew, I guess, 2 less cards than us. This doesn't equate for 3 things. Alright, post board. I think we want these, and I think we want this. I think we want to shave some of the 1-drops. Don't really want to sideboard too much. Still kind of a base aggro deck. So the lightning strikes aren't particularly good. They don't often kill Lone Tusk Cub. They sometimes kill Rogue Refiner, but Rogue Refiner is nothing that we're ever worried about. Deshandra's defeats can actually kill his Chandra, Glorybringers, and the 3 drops that we'd be using our lightning strikes on. In fact, I guess I don't want this lightning strike either. Too late. Alright, I'll keep it, but it looks pretty trashy. Don't really have any creatures going on here. I think I'm gonna have to go turn to Heat on next match. And by heat, I mean air conditioner. I misspoke. I guess I'd rather play this guy. It has a higher chance to make him not play a spell this turn. And we have our little combo in play. We can Bantu's Reckoning while saving our guy if we want. To deal some numbers of additional damages. Yes, we will draw an extra card. Being a little greedy, not using this turn. I can get something better out of it. Excuse me. Like this next turn I can get like a bristling hydra or something. I'm just going to take the damage. Feel like we're pretty far ahead in any terms of racing anyway, so it doesn't seem like there's any reason for us to block. Home Tusk Cup. Hopefully he plays a 3-drop to go with it. He did not. Which means he's probably going to kill this. Well, yes, we'll draw another card. So we have some options now. Whatever option we use is going to probably set us back a bit. We're going to go with this one. I'm not going to spend energy here. I really think he's just killing the Harvester, so I don't think there's any reason for me to. I think like that was a pretty clear he's killing the Harvester line. He wasn't killing that Harvester and he just wasn't doing anything with his mana. We were so far ahead it didn't matter. And we can afford to be a little bit more greedy. I potentially shouldn't have played the Beaumont Courier here. So that's Glorybringer o'clock. So now that's enough stuff for me to actually use a Bantu's Reckoning. We'll have to see what he's targeting with that. So we're going to crew this guy. He's at 5 energy. So we get our 3 block here. If he has a blossoming defense or whatever, it's just whatever. I'm not that worried about it. I guess we'll sacrifice this guy. And it makes it hard for him to lightning strike that or makes it hard for him to harness lightning that. He needs an energy source and a harness lightning. Well, if he's bringing in Death Scourger Scavengers, keeping a couple lightning strikes isn't that terrible. Certainly didn't want that. On the positive note is he's really close to dead with this other Bantu's Reckoning in our hand. It's like really close to dead with it in our hand. A 1-drop or whatever to activate this Harvester would be wonderful. We do have quite a few of them in our deck. Hey Kim, what's up, man? Yeah, we just started today. Yeah, so we probably want to use Bantu again. I think he has enough of a board presence that I want to. Could just attack with a 5/5. He probably blocks and saves an energy then. Alright. A cheeky little attack in here. We'll pay the energy. We'll sacrifice that. Did we have this in play earlier when we let him gain 2 life? Were we not paying attention? We may let him gain 2 life that he didn't deserve. Yeah, I don't remember the board state. I am a little sick yet again today. It's been friggin' non-stop lately. But our opponent's hell-bent and we have an 8/8 and a lightning strike, which feels good, man. Oh yeah. Hey Geo. I would not watch the Jun video. The Jun video was a travesty. Was a literal travesty. I'm not greening very, very hard right now, but it was Jokerino. I don't think I want the extra lightning strikes. But yeah, we woke up a little bit late today. League of Legends Worlds is on at 3 a.m. my time right now, and it lasts for 5.5 hours or whatever. Yeah, it did 5-0 a league, and maybe I didn't play it correctly. I kept a lot of 2-land hands, which I think it's correct to keep math-wise, but like none of them panned out. Maybe I'm supposed to mulligan them. Maybe I don't know the math well enough. Not actually sure. We got paired versus it yesterday as well when we were playing Teamer Energy, and our opponent seemed to have the same issues we did. That it just kind of like spun its wheels for a long time. That it was doing very, very powerful things. But if your opponent had any type of deck that could interact with those powerful things, that it was too slow to get a big advantage with those powerful things. But overall, it was not impressive. Maybe I should have sideboarded out the Dread Wanderers on the draw, but like, I need to have some things to sacrifice to this. And I don't really have many other options. Would like to draw a Fatal Push. That's not a Fatal Push, that's another card that I didn't really want to draw. The positive note is I can essentially just throw these things away. Like, these things don't matter. Other land's not actually terrible. Just attack with these and we get 4 damage in either way. No, not a lot, man. What are you into? Maybe he misblocks. What are you into, Darf? Oh, by the way, welcome Geo and Kim. I don't know if I actually said that, but appreciate you guys stopping by yet again. So I believe this is one of our harder matches. Just gonna slam the hazard this turn. It's the better play in face of a potential drawing of a Bantu. Of course, if he has confiscation coup, we're likely just to slash our throat. Like we were in a bad horror movie. I shouldn't make suicide jokes. That's actually kind of bad of me. Oh. Well. At least we can do this. That's obviously really bad for me, though. Cannot even pretend that that's not bad for me. He doesn't appear to need his lands. I guess I would rather play this than get back to Dread Wanderer, just in case I draw Bantu next turn. Oh wow, these are legendaries. RIP. I did not realize these were legendaries. That's my fault. So yeah, that was pretty bad of me. If it counts, I'm pretty far behind this game and not sure if it matters. But yeah, that was obviously a terrible play mistake. I have learned today. Mine of these are Japanese in real life, so that's not a very good excuse. It's the best excuse I can give, though. I sack you. Also should have attacked last turn. Yep, made a pretty big play mistake. And he's got the follow-up. Very, very large play mistake. Still have 3 more Bantus in our deck, though, and we probably win if we get to any one of them. Have 3 fatal pushes that can kill this thing as well. I think this game would have probably been a fairly easy win if I hadn't made my play mistake. Now I believe this game is going to be incredibly hard to win without top decking another Bantu anyway. Yes, there's 4 Bantus in the deck, so we have 3 more of those we can draw. You can also draw this thing too, which is just lethal. Yeah, we hit well. Yeah, but that was a pretty bad play mistake. But anyway, that's a lot how the this matchup kind of goes. Pre-board, we're a very poor. We have very little chance. Post-board, we put enough pressure on them early that they usually have to overextend on the board. And because they overextend, our 4 Bantu's Reckonings are absolutely house cakes. But the Reckonings and Expertises are really how you win this match. We're a big dog pre-board. We're a slight favorite post-board, I believe. I'm going to be right back. Literally have to walk 15 feet, but I'm going to turn on my air conditioner. It's going pretty good, Ricky. Made a massive embarrassing play mistake. I actually didn't know this card was legendary, and I played two of them. It nearly cost me a game, but luckily I wasn't punished, and there was a Hazoret on top of my deck to bail me out. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to turn on my air conditioner. I'll be right back. The dream is gone. No, you got this. Especially if it's like Teamer or something. Alright, so this hand's kind of weird. We have 12 1-drops, but we have such good gas that I think we have to keep this hand anyway, even though I think the odds of us winning without our 1-drops go pretty low. Um, So most decks that lead with basic planes end up being Abzan or Esper tokens. Not all of them, like you can lead basic planes with blue-white approach, all sorts of things of that nature. I'm just saying the typical. Alright, we're going to try this one first. Via's Esper tokens, his mana is already awkward. Believe it or not, the Eversphere Harvesters are actually pretty good versus blue-white approach. Even though a lot of people would seemingly say that they're not, they are fairly good in the match. Alright, so it is probably like a tokens or maybe the blue-white cat deck from Saffron Olive or something. Wow. And they lost Legacy to approach. Hey, let's check out this list, fam. I'm going to pull up the list as well for everybody who might be watching on YouTube, since they can't see the actual links. So it's like a more controlling list. He's only playing one Search for Azcanta. He's got 25 lands. A cancel? Why do you play cancel instead of disallow? Is that a budget or is it something I don't understand? Okay, fair enough. Was just asking. Uh, Double checking something. Wow, disallows are $3 on Moto. Yeah, I hope you get that 4-1 so you can buy one. Alright, so we're obviously going to draw a card here. So this is the cat deck, it appears. Do I want to attack into Championowitz? Probably, because if he blocks this turn, he can't block the Glint Siphoner next turn, likely. This deck actually looked fairly decent on paper. I don't think he can beat things like Blue-White Approach ever. I'd be surprised if he can beat Abzan tokens very often if they draw well. I mean, obviously, if they don't draw their things, they're going to lose. Well, that's brutal. I'm not sure that I can beat that card, especially when he's already gaining 8 life. Not sure I can beat it when he's already gaining 8 life right off the top. But we're going to find out. I think little aggro decks are probably his best match. Hey, James, what it is, homie? What's the hippity happity? The hippity and the happity. So they are a 4 fumigate deck still as well, which is a bit of an issue. Makes it hard to cast a second siphoner. So they're like probably debating now whether they want to buy this back or whether they want to use fumigate. They're also like a 4 Ixalan's binding deck. Yeah, so they want to gain 8 life. I'm doing pretty well myself. We certainly want to draw another card. Beaumont Courier. Oh well. Well, I think we're going to want to play this land here. Do we have enough cards to win now? Your Jund opponent blood mooned themselves out of the game twice. That's insane. So opponent's at 11, and we have 9 points of burn in our hand. Probably a pretty good sign for us. Even if he casts Fumigate now, he goes to 15, and we can deal exactly 15. I actually like opponent's deck. I think he's got some weird card choices though. Like I don't think Gideon's Intervention is particularly good. And I don't think Solemnity is good enough for a sideboard. But other than that, I kind of like a lot of what his deck's doing. We'll probably find something better than Adorned Pouncer. Alright, well. To the skies, opponent. And by the skies, I mean we're bringing down a lightning. Lightning, fire, brimstone, all the things. Phew, that's a good one. We're just going to go ahead and play that. 4-0 baby, says the little Ricky. The little Ricky that could. Getting that 4-0 dream. Hype. Should be good enough. If not, we have a lightning strike. You calm my nerves. Whew. Are you playing friendly or competitive? You looking for them QPs? Alright. So this matchup feels a little interesting to me. Their main ways to interact are like Angels of Sanction and Ixalan's Binding. They're an Anointed Procession deck. They run Pouncers, Wits, Champions, and Sanctions. I don't know how to really sideboard. Fatal Push isn't great. It only hits one creature plus things that they bring back. And if they're to the point where they're bringing back a lot of things, the Fatal Pushes probably aren't wonderful. I just realized I only have 3 Lightning Strikes. Certainly don't want Chandra's. Defeat. Doomfall. I mean, if you can get a creature out of their hand, it can get a Fumigate out of their hand, it can actually kill a problematic creature on the board, can hit an Anointed Procession or an Ixalan's Binding, so we probably do want Doomfalls. I don't think we want these. We'll just set these over here for now. Duresses. Are Duresses good enough? Duresses probably aren't good enough. Are Bantu's Reckonings good enough? They're a Fumigate deck. Maybe we want this. Excuse me. guess they have Gideon's Intervention and Ixalan's Binding. Maybe that makes duress good enough? Maybe that just means we don't care about Hazoret. Don't think I want these. So I'm debating between these 8 cards. Like, these 8 cards all seem like they have uses, but I feel like that one's not good enough. There's probably some number of duresses. What would I take out for more duresses? Maybe lightning strikes aren't good? They really just go to the face? They don't really do a whole lot on board? I guess we'll try all the discard spells. We can bring back some lightning strikes or some reckonings or some fatal pushes or something if we go to game 3. Well, we have 1 land and it doesn't produce a consistent black mana, so I don't think we can keep this. Alright, this hand's atrocious. Let's keep it. Can't say I'm a fan of Authority of Council versus me. Does make crewing vehicles a little bit more problematic, but it's not really that big of a deal. The Star of Duress. He's got double Angel of Sanctions. Eldrazi-tron, no. Big-tron, probably, because Oblivion Stone's that powerful, and you have access to like some Ghost Quarters and things. So, let's see if that's the land. That is the land he'd already showed us. I don't think I really have anything better to do with this duress. Might as well go ahead and duress him again, see if he drew another Anointed. Nope, he drew another Angel. Yeah. Don't really have red cards in our deck, so. Oh, whoops. We know he has another Angel. Probably not going to beat him if he starts playing these Angels, by the way. They're probably just going to be too powerful at this point. We have like no removal spells for him. We did not get a fast draw. Not sure how to beat those at this point. Him missing a land gives us a chance, but he hit a land and he slow rolled it. That's kind of frustrating. Why don't you just slam it? You know you're not playing anything other than that spell. Maybe we should bring Verasquez in? Yes, the spell that we knew you were going to play. Good job. I don't think we can win from here. Pretty sure I'm just going to scoop. We don't actually have a single way to kill one of those creatures, do we? We have a Doomfall. Alright, I guess I won't scoop. We have Doomfall. So we can draw like running Doomfalls or something? We get to buy it back anyway, who cares if it dies? This makes him use the next Angel on this. So he's going to get rid of this one. We had to have a Doomfall essentially that turn to have a chance. Sure. Okay. So we lost pretty heavily. Maybe I didn't sideboard right. Maybe I shouldn't be bringing in the duresses at all. Let's get these duresses immediately back out of the deck. And chalk that up to just probably being very wrong. Not sure what else I would want though. I really want the lightning strike cider. By the way, welcome, Sean. Welcome. Alright, so we'll play first. This draw's miserable, but is it good enough? Probably not good enough. Alright, this hand's much better than the previous hand. Certainly don't want that thing. Game 1 was relatively easy, and I think he had a pretty good draw, but game 2 and 3 we just got buried by like an authority of the council. Which I don't actually think is a good card versus this deck. I think it's an average card. We've also drawn no interactive spells these last couple of games. We only had 2 in our deck last game though, so like, I mean, can't really say when I only have two in my deck. Like that's not the deck, you know. Or sorry, that's not a poor draw. That is, I probably sideboarded wrong or something. I do think his deck could potentially be good if it had a few changes to it. Seems like it's very good versus aggro decks. So opponent got to draw a lot of extra cards. He got to put a Sun Scourger in his graveyard. We're just in real bad shape this game. Basically have to have a land exactly this turn. And we of course didn't get the land. We had to have it basically exactly that turn because now he'll be able to Angel of Sanctions probably before we can do anything. Oh wow. He's taking the greedier line? The greedier line's probably fine since he's going to gain 8 life anyway. He'll turn 4 Anointed Procession all 3 games. Maybe we should have left a Bantu in. What do people think about us potentially should have having to leave a Bantu or something in? I guess we'll cycle this one. don't know that I can win anymore. In fact, I probably can't win anymore. Because like he's just going to have a land and play this on the next turn. It's going to take our Hazoret. He doesn't even have to block. His life total is way too high. Is the MTG bot not saying the rounds and stuff again? I noticed somebody had to tap the thing. That's kind of weird. He had access to this and he didn't play it. So maybe he just has Nixilon's Binding then? Yep, I guess he just has Nixilon's Binding. Put it in our graveyard just in case we draw another. It also gives us fodder for the Scrap Heap Scrounger that's already in our graveyard. Doomfall. Doomfall. Target opponent exiles a creature, and I get a fairly decent attack in. Don't think targeting his hand matters at all because he already has a Champion of Wits and Angels in the grave and another Sun Scourger in the graveyard. Actually, we're just dead. We're gonna scoop it up. Have no out. I didn't see the second Sun Scourger, or I wouldn't even have went through my draw step. Him gaining another 8 life is too much. Rest in peace, 5-0. The dream is now dead. Huh. Round 3. Will we play first? I don't know, guys. What do you think? Yep. Snap it off. Just like sometimes you shake it off. I have a 1-drop and a 2-drop. If he doesn't have a removal spell, we get to draw the card because we have that meltdown. And we have a little pushy dushy. So this is one of our bad matches, probably. You got a swamp. Swamp's even harder for us to beat than Teamer. Because Walking Ballista is that strong versus us. We have a very good hand though, and we won the dice roll. So if like his hand's below average, like if he just has a Winding Constrictor or a Snake here, we have a pretty good chance. But if he plays a Walking Ballista, we probably have just lost on the spot. And he's playing a Walking Ballista. That's fun. Probably dead on the spot then. May not be, who knows. If he's got a second Walking Ballista for turn 4, then we definitely are. When you're playing a deck that's primarily composed of X1s, it's really hard to beat the Ballista. Like I said, our hand was very good though, so there's some chance. Especially if he doesn't have a second. So let's start with cycling this. So he got an island that turn. So Hostage Taker could be a bit problematic. We can always draw Hazard though and be in okay shape if he has a Taker. Even though it wouldn't be that good a shape, but we get to attack for 5. So that makes it big enough that it can kill that. So if I attack with both of these, he's likely going to take 2 damage and kill 1. Probably kill this one. Seems fine. If he blocks with the Glint Siphoner, that's fine as well. Just getting any damage through at all right now is the primary go. Oh, he's going to take 3. I did not expect him to take 3. So playing this Harvester kind of sucks here, because if he just has a Hostage Taker, we're in really bad shape unless we draw one of our 6 ways, 7 ways, no, 6 ways that are still in the deck to kill it. But 1, he doesn't even have to have the Hostage Taker, and 2, if he does have it, we do have outs for it. Yeah, well, we probably just lose now. Can't imagine we win anymore. A Lightning Strike would still probably win. But it's probably Lightning Strike or nothing. Does Hazard do anything? Hazard makes him chump block. That's about it. So if I attack with all of these, all he does is spend the energy here and block this, chump block this, and take a point from that. Alright, so we'll just attack with the... I guess if we attack with this... No. Alright, we'll just attack with that. So we need a Lightning Strike now, or we need a... Mostly a Lightning Strike, I think. Is what it takes from here. Well, that didn't do it, did it? He's going to gain 3 life every turn. Not sure how we win. We had outs. We had a lot of outs. We had one of any 6 removal spells would have did it. Pretty sure I'm just attacking with this thing again. It makes him spend some amount of energy, so he has less for that. I don't know if that's relevant whatsoever. Probably not relevant whatsoever, but it did get rid of 4 energy. And we can draw a Fatal Push for this at some point in our life. He's got a Veraska's Contempt on top of everything else. Then we're like really just shot. I don't think we've made any play errors. Pretty sure every play we made was correct. Just got paired versus a really bad match. Please no Veraska's Contempt. Blossoming defense would be equally as bad. Yeah, well, it wasn't a Veraska's Contempt. Guess that's something. Alright. So, what's the happenings now? Oh, wow. Okay. I'm such a bad Magic player. Not really a bad Magic player. It works out the same, but potentially was a stupid play. Should have attacked with this too. Don't know why I didn't. It was just a big mistake not to attack with this as well. Very large mistake not to attack with this as well. Hey, Blade Ogre, what's up, man? Yeah, super large mistake not to attack with that as well. Like, I'd done the damage that I was going to kill him like this anyway, but because we had the Vraska's Contempt, he had used it last turn. But like, it was still a mistake not to attack with the Scrap Heap Scrounger. Because what if he'd been sandbagging a Fatal Push and we didn't get to draw the extra card or whatever? Probably shouldn't have played the land pre-combat for the exact same reason. Like, I put enough effort into thinking how we were going to win the game, but not how to avoid us from losing the game. So, playing the land and not attacking with the Scrap Heap Scrounger both gave our opponents more outs to beat us. I don't think they had any of them because they didn't use them last turn, but like, it was still a play mistake. Just loose play. I don't know. I think Damontu's come in here again. If you put a card in your hand and no, it does not remove it from combat. It's already attacking. Anytime we bring Damontu's in, we want to bring these in. I don't think I want anything else. Probably just going to remove some of the 1-drops. I think Beaumont Couriers in general are worse in this particular match, especially on the draw. Kind of want to Vraska's Contempt. I don't know what to take out for it, though. Maybe more high markets, but I do think we need some early plays. Maybe it's just more high markets. What do I think about this hand? I think it's not very good, but we have enough red sources that I think we can keep on the draw. Yeah, on hindsight, I think I should have brought in Nebraska's Contempts. I don't know what Ostracized is. I think it's get a creature out of their hand, and if that's true, I probably wouldn't like it in this format. I think it's just get a creature, right? Maybe get a creature or a non-basic land or something. That's rude, opponent. We didn't do a damn thing to you. Target opponent reveals his hand, you choose a creature card from it. Yeah. Like, we have Harsh Scrutiny, which is just a better Magic card. And Harsh Scrutiny is not any good, so... Hard to imagine that being good when Harsh Scrutiny is not any good. I know I'm not casting Bantu here. I'm trying to decide whether I'm casting this. I guess I'll cast that. One card's out of my hand for whenever we get the Hazard anyway. Definitely not playing Bantu here. Like, I'm being much, much more greedy and hoping that our opponent, like, plays another spell or two. They have a Wrath of God in my hand, right? Now we have mana to use a Lightning Strike next turn. And or to buy back the Scrap Heap Scrounger, whichever we choose. Or better yet, just to hardcast the Scrap Heap Scrounger. No, I'd rather buy the one back. That way we can play around Hostage Taker. Duress, Downfall, Lost Legacy. Yeah, you're just not beating that. Especially if it's from token decks. So have enough mana to kill a Hostage Taker. Vraska's Contempt. That could have been worse. What'd you play versus Ricky? I don't think I heard you say. Winding Constrictor. Snap Dead. I may have missed it. You probably said it and I probably just missed it. Still 4-1's nice. Oh, Affinity again. Yeah, Affinity's probably a winnable match, but it's probably not the easiest match that was ever easy. Casting it pre-combat because F6 is my favorite thing. I stopped keeping track of my spreadsheet. I just didn't find there to be any reason to keep it up with it. People weren't asking, and I make so many changes to the deck that it was hard for it to seem like it was relevant information. Alright, well, there's a winding, or a walking blister, rather. Go ahead and kill it. We can buy back one of these if we feel like it. Which we're going to snap buy back one of these, of course. About 80%. We were 79% across the entire format with every deck we played, but we quit keeping track of them 2 weeks ago, and this last week we've been on a massive downswing. So we're probably only like 72% now or something. Play the land, buy back this thing. Attacking for a bundle. Pray that there's no hostage taker, though we do have a Bantu's Last Reckoning if there is a hostage taker. Don't care about that card too much. The best it does is trade with this. Don't care if he kills the Dread Wanderer at all, like it immediately just comes back. A card out of your treasure chest. It is a sign, young Ricketh. Yes, I called you young Ricketh. We're certainly flooding out this game. Go ahead and hit F6. Oh, that's a good one. Alright. To battle. So this makes him at least spend some number of energies. Really? Oh, the promo. I was gonna say I have a normal one that's not worth close to that. That's kind of weird. So either one of these cards that I can bring back out of my graveyard are a 2-turn clock. So I'm going to play the one that can repeatedly come out of the graveyard as opposed to the other one. Opponent scoop to that? That's kind of a premature concession, but whatever. And Moto all of a sudden won't let us draw cards anymore. Alright, 2-1. Had some pretty interesting games. We beat the 2 energy decks we played. We lost to the one deck that seems like it's designed specifically to beat aggro decks. That and a fire Bantus. And the Bantus have been very, very good. I don't think I own 4 of these in paper either, which could be an issue. Especially be an issue if I decide to go to the tournament tomorrow. Is this hand good enough? I think it's good enough. I think it's miserable, but I think it's good enough. That's probably a mirror match, so like this card's exceptionally good in any type of mirror match. Yeah, a lot of people don't trade their newer standard stuff at all, or even put them in their trade binders or anything, just because, or trade them to stores or just anything because they're so cheap. Well, that's not a good sign for us. A key to beating the good decks has been called. Alright, we'll play this one, just so we can play this thing. I think since we have double Eversphere Harvester draw here, we're probably the control deck of the two in a sense, so I believe we will hold back here and look for blocks. I don't know if approach is even the third best. I think approach is just not playable at the moment, but what do I know? Ooh, opponent's hand is excelente. I guess we'll block with this one. Sure. There's a Hazard, which is the most important card. It's just it's very poorly positioned at the moment. Too many people are playing Lost Legacy. Not really. I mean, if I get the right pairings, I will. If I get paired versus the Teamer decks all day, I will. If I get paired versus the Lost Legacy decks, I won't. And just way too many of them are playing Lost Legacy now. I got an opponent. The opponent's attacking with millions of things. That's somewhat similar to millions of peaches. Fine, fine, fine. Alright, we'll look for a block here. So what do we want to block? If we block this, it can die to a lightning strike. If we block this, we may not gain any life. And dying to a lightning strike's okay. Gets a card out of his hand. You can beat the control decks. The control decks aren't the issue. It's like the Abzan tokens decks and stuff that play Lost Legacy that are the issue. I'm just gonna draw a million cards. Would really like to draw a one drop in these next two draw steps. If he finishes this off, I'm not that concerned about it because we have the backup. Spending 2 mana here. That's kind of weird that he did it in that phasing. Certainly going to draw a card even though we have Hazard. Not worried about that. Play another one of these. Again, I still kind of think I'm the control deck here. So I don't think I'm going to do any attacks yet. Not when we have double Lost Legacy and a Hazard in our hand. Or sorry, double Eversphere Harvester and a Hazard. We're talking about Lost Legacy. The thing is, the cats and the Hulks. Well, first of all, sideboarding in Hulk versus Scarab God blows my mind. But, like I said, it's not the control deck. You can beat the control deck. You don't need approach to beat the control deck. But how do your cats or your Hulks ever do damage versus a tokens deck? I guess we're going to block this one again. Again, I don't really care if they killed a harvester. Don't really care about drawing a card either. I care about preserving my life total at this point. Drawing a card can actually be a liability for me here. Alright, so I can actually play 3 things now. I think it's time to shift gears. We're really far ahead now. Hey, Z Canner. Thank you, man. Yep, it's switch gears time. We are the attack deck now. I think we're far enough ahead both on board and on life to start turning things sideways. That was improper ordering, by the way. I should have made sure I got the energy first, but I was just wanting the F6. Still pretty improper ordering, either way. I mean, I sideboard a lot of threats in my deck, but like you can't sideboard threats that kill you, right? For example, like say your opponent's playing blue-black control and their entire win condition Scarab God, like it's going to be easy for them to kill your first Gear Hulk or like Essence Scattered or something when it's coming down, which makes it just a massive liability. Duress does suck. Duress is not good. I do not think Duress is good. Alright, so do I want to draw a card? If I draw a card, there's a chance that a Hazard can attack, so I'm probably not going to draw the card this turn. Also, being able to gain life still pretty relevant. This thing gets to kill something per turn. Can't block. Yeah, Duress has to have help. Can't block. Do I want to attack with this thing? Nah. I don't think I want to attack with that thing this turn. Hey, Max Mitchell 2000. Not really. I'm from Eastern Kentucky. It's about the middle. Some people would refer to it as the South, but it's about the middle. So we'll go ahead and play this too. There's a non-zero chance that we have to sacrifice to Beaumont Courier or something. Are you the Max Mitchell that used to stream and is a big Fish fan? I don't remember if your name had 2000 at the end of it or not. Just remember following your stream. You start playing poker and let the whole world down, if that is you. Alright. So sideboarding in the mirror. I guess these cards are fun. They kill Effort Spirit Harvester and Hazoret both, which are the two single most important cards in this match. Definitely don't want the Duresses or the Chandra's defeats. Maybe the Doomfall, but probably not. Maybe this guy. But also probably not. I'm probably actually sideboarding this guy out. At least on the draw. It's pretty nice, but these decks don't really block well in general, so like he's probably not going to be getting a lot of counters. I think I'm going to sideboard those out on the draw. This is one of the matches that us adding a Doomfall and taking out an Unlicensed Disintegration really sucks versus. This hand's real slow. I think it's probably a mulligan. I'll keep it though. I don't know the deck well enough to be firm in my mind that this isn't a winnable hand. But these decks have 12 1-drops in them, so like starting on turn 2 versus a deck that has infinite removal doesn't seem appealing to me. What if I'm supposed to play you or you on the next turn? Whatever I play has a high probability of dying, but there's much more upside to playing the Siphoner if he doesn't have the removal spell. Or if his only removal spell is a Lightning Strike, it may make him waste his next turn. It's only bad if he has exactly Fatal Push, which he could have. I think there's more upside to playing it than downside. Yeah, so we blink this next turn. It's just never a bad thing. Ooh. Ever Spear Harvester o'clock, friends. Just go ahead and slam the Harvester. Approach is my favorite deck in the format, but I do not think that it is. Do not think it's well positioned in the current format. It's still my favorite deck. Still my favorite deck by a decent amount, even. I think since he's mana screwed, I'm just going to go ahead and start pushing. And by pushing, I don't mean fatal pushing. I mean pushing the life totals and stuff. Next turn, we have access to this and this. It's another lookout. Yeah, opponent's not played anything I care about yet. Drawing a card? Why, yes. Definitely drawing a card. Let's attack first. That way I can't misclick anything. Alright, well, I guess I don't have to actually attack first. Just have to make sure I equip the right one so I don't have to pay attention. Second Harvester's pretty dope. So we have a Fatal Push now that we can use on one of these high markers. One of these Night Market Lookaroos. Especially if he taps his mana for some ungodly reason. That's fair. I mean, when you look at the deck on paper, it does look terrible, right? You're like, I'm supposed to win with exactly this 7 mana sorcery, and I'm supposed to win with it over 2 turns? But you can't guarantee me I'm going to have it the second turn? And then, on top of all of that, I have to also like survive when there's no real hard counter spells in our deck. There's no good 2 mana removal. Like, you know, Meltdown's our best 2 mana removal. So blocking this one protects from Lightning Strike while also kills the thing that lets him gain life, which is what I most care about. Oh yeah, it absolutely smashes mid-range creature decks. That is for shizzle. That is for shizzle my nizzle. Not going to draw a card. Want the life gain more. Okay. And for the same reason, I'm going to miss out on 1 point of damage this turn and just attack with a Glint Siphoner so I can gain another energy. That way I can gain 6 life this turn and 6 life next turn. While in theory, potentially being lethal next turn. And because of the Vraska's Contempt and the Lightning Strike, we're insulated from him even having like a top deck of a Harvester. So we drew our Harvesters this match and our opponent did not. Yep, no, opponent's just dead. Opponent has no outs now. It's attacking for 11 damage. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Sure, I guess we'll prevent. I mean, it's irrelevant. Maybe he has a lightning strike, right? Or sorry, maybe he untaps and has, or maybe he has a mountain and a shocker, like a Dragon Skull Summit and a shock or something. So we might as well. Kruviska. Lightning Strike, so we can press F6. And we're 3-1. I can't actually gain life with the Vraska because he has. Well, I guess he can't sacrifice this to itself, can he? A lot of these creatures you can sacrifice to themselves. I forgot that says another on it. My bad. I forgot that says another on it, so you are correct. Except he could use it in response to my burn spell or something on the following turn. When I wouldn't have enough mana for it all. Hey, World Wake. Thanks for the follow, by the way. And so we're 3-1. And playing first. This hand's good enough. It's obviously not a great hand, especially if a deck that's got 12 1-drops. You're really wanting to draw 1 or 2 of those 1-drops most hands. If you're not drawing your 1-drops, you should just probably be playing mono red. The 1-drops is really what pushes this deck over mono red. just has access to more and better 1-drops. Playing this one because it lets us draw a card. And it's the only one that can guaranteed deal damage. He could just have like an Anointer Priest and chump block the other one or something. So there's a basic island. Could be the in a bomb top deck, it looks like. At the beginning of your combat, target creature token you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn and can't be blocked. Alright, gotcha. So when you get creature tokens, I'll worry about you. Alright. So just in case we want to draw another card next turn. Probably won't. We'll probably need that mana for something, but it's a just in case thing. Don't know what opponent's playing. They do have mismatched lands. That card's very brutal versus us. Do I want to draw a card here? I guess I'll draw a card. Hazoret. What do you do, Hazoret? Killing the Sunscourge champion doesn't feel like it does a lot. It's a 4/4 back that can't block next turn. Well, wouldn't be able to block next turn. I don't think I care if he kills this. We have Fatal Pushes we're drawing to try to deal with that. He's going to get that amount of life back at some point anyway. That seems like a fairly good turn to do it in. Oh, wow. That worked out better than we expected. By a lot. Worked out better than we expected by a whole lot. You could just untap and have Fumigate, which would be problematic. Wouldn't be the end of the world, though, because we have a Scrap Heap Scrounger we can buy back, and we have the Yahani in our hand. So, like, we'd still be attacking for 7 on the following turn. We're obviously in bad shape, though, if he has everything like that. So you can go back to 15 and get this thing back. Or he could have even an even better play. Who knows? Only time will tell. And telling time's part of the battle. Could have like a big angel too, I guess. What's our worst card in our graveyard? Beaumont? Sure. So we can attack with everything. We don't care how he blocks. Do I play the high market or not? I guess it's fine to play it. If he does play a Fumigate, I can sacrifice my other 3 creatures. Put a Glyph Creature in his graveyard. That card's actually pretty sweet. Ixalan's Binding on this, probably? Sack it just in case we draw another. Fatal Push would be great. That's not a Fatal Push. To battle. He could have survived the turn by blocking this guy. He would have went down to 1. And then, like, if he top decked the Fumigate, he would have gained not enough to live, so it wouldn't have mattered. But I could have messed up and, like, let him gain to life. My overall record with this deck... Hey, Wrinkling Generation, thank you for the follow. And hello, Dire Wire, for stopping by. And hello, Jose Zero and Warloff. I don't know if I've said hello to you guys yet. Anyway, my overall record of this deck's been pretty good. With the builds with 4 harvesters, we've had a lot of success. With the builds with only 3 or 2 harvesters, we've not had much success. I have not been keeping stats over the past couple of weeks, so I can't tell you. I can pull up my stats from the last time that I played the deck, I guess. Or from back when I was keeping stats. What's my stats say? But I stopped keeping them. We're just changing cards too often for the stats to feel relevant. Where are you at? We were 12-3 with it. These were our stats with it when we were playing 4 harvesters. Then we played some lists that had less harvesters and they weren't very well. And now we're 3-1 with it again with this list. But the harvesters... Play 4 harvesters is basically what I'm trying to say. We lost to Teamer a lot, but I don't think I was sideboarding properly. We beat Teamer once today, and we beat a Sultai Energy deck today. Feels like it's better versus than mono red because it feels like it's a favorite versus mono red. All right, so our opponent's playing some deck that I have no idea what is. It has Fumigates, which make this card seem like it goes up in value. It's got some like reasonable and bomb threats, which makes these cards seem like they go up in value as well. Don't think I want anything like this. He never showed us any spells that mattered. He never showed us enough to use any of this. What would we sideboard out? Kind of want some removal spells for his early embalmers and stuff. Fatal Pushes can buy back things that have embalmed. Lightning Strike's maybe not good enough then. About these. Kind of want the Doomfall, but eh. I have not saw the list. Um, War. You basically want them versus all the energy decks, and the energy decks feel like the worst matches. But you generally want to draw. You generally always want to draw one versus Fumigate, but you probably want to draw more than one. Sorry, versus energy. Okay, what do we think about this hand? We have two 1-drops. The 1-drops don't seem great versus him, and we're missing on lands. I had no idea it used Anointed Procession. Like I said, I don't know the deck list. Never saw it before. Don't know what it is. Think this is too weak of a hand. But not just Team Energy, the Sultai Energy deck as well. I think this hand's just a little too weak. If we had a second mana over any card at random, I think I would keep. This hand's probably worse, but not the type of guy that wants to mulligan 1,000 times. I'm actually going to put that on top. I don't know if I should put that on top, but I don't know how many creatures and stuff he has in his deck. Oh, great. Another one of those cards. Well, of this list. Let's pull up this list on stream and check it out. Oh, we played versus this earlier. It crushed us. I think these decks are really good at beating aggro decks and not very good at beating anything else. So if there's like tons of mono red and black red and stuff like that in your format, you probably want these. If there's a bunch of blue-white approach, you probably don't want these. I'm not sure how it would be versus Teamer Energy either. So, aggro decks just aren't beating these two cards. Doesn't matter what else is in his deck, but we're not going to beat these two cards. I guess I'll attack with this. See how he plays it. Kind of an interesting way to play it. Alright, well, we're still alive. Kind of want to draw an untapped land next turn, I think. I definitely want to fade Angel of Sanctions. Don't care a whole lot about that one. Hey, we hit an untapped land. This gives him another threat to deal with. While we're still protected versus Fumigate. It's down to 2 cards in his hand, and neither of the cards in his graveyard are cards we care about at all. So that's Fumigate. So we have the choice to draw 2 cards or to save our 5/5. Think we save our 5/5? I think we save our 5-5. We'll go ahead and play this. It lets us save the 5-5 again from another Fumigate. It can also attack. What's the bomb on this? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he can't buy both of them back, and he's only got one card in his hand. Angel of Sanctions. Alright, now that card's a problem. It's one of the reasons we brought into Verascas, though. So I assume he has to take that. See if we can draw to Verasca. So opponent has no cards in hand. And he can't really block this turn, so let's get across the table for about half of his life points. We're protected from another Fumigate. Ixalan's Binding. Guess he's going to target the Expertise. We can't sacrifice it to itself, but we still have the double Glint Siphoner. We're certainly going to draw a card. I'm going to play this one. And the opponent's going to have to hit something pretty good. He's at 1 life. Let's figure out what's going to happen here. Even if he plays a Fumigate, we get back our 5-5. So he needs like Soul Scrounger or something. So he's discarding 2 cards. He can buy back the Priest, which puts him at 2 life, and he can't block both of our guys no matter what. So I think we just locked it. Yep, he can't block both of our guys, and he's at 2 life. Menace is going to win this game. Hey, Pafew, not Matthew, and Amira Hozenka, and Nagel 05. Appreciate you guys following. But anyway, nice little 4-1 today. It's nice to actually be back on the winning side of something, especially when our opponent actually had a pretty reasonable draw. Anyway, we lost to the Saffron Olive deck. That match did not feel particularly winnable. That deck, I know a lot of people look at Saffron Olive and think he's just like a brewer and a friendly player and stuff like that, but like he comes up with some pretty good ideas sometimes, and I believe his list that he 5-0'd with 2 days ago, you guys can go to mtgogoldfish.com or whatever and look at it. Seems like it's pretty reasonable, but we beat the 2-teamer decks, and we beat the Mirror. The deck felt pretty good. Profits with red-black. Yeah, I mean, I guess we should pop up the list while we're talking. It felt pretty good. Going back to the 4 Pfeffer Spear Harvester was actually great. The Harvesters were the best card in the decks today by a lot. Expertise. Or sorry, not Expertise, but Yahini was absolutely insane as well, and so was the Bantus. Those cards were all very, very, very good. I trimmed on Lightning Strikes. I went down to 3. I did not miss it at all. Hey, Mr. Reddish, thank you for the follow. But anyway, remember guys, we're going to get out of here. We want to thank you all for following and for watching and all that. If you like what you're seeing, click the follow button. And if you really like what you're seeing, check out the links below the stream and follow both my Twitter and my YouTube as well. And if you happen to be watching on the YouTube, keep in mind that all of the no, we're logging off. Keep in mind that in all the videos, there's links to the Twitter, the Twitch, and the actual description. And I'm going to host a blue-white approach player that's playing in the PPTQ at the moment. But so like, give this guy a check. Give this guy a watch. He's playing blue-white approach in the PPTQ. And don't actually know his record or anything, but we'll be back tomorrow as always. And I'm not sure exactly what deck we're going to play with tomorrow. We'll have to do some thinking about it. But anyway, take care, everybody, and thanks for watching.